I was driving out to my parents' house. It was my girlfriend's birthday. I was going to see my mom and dad, and I was coming down the expressway. I heard this mother just scream, "My baby," and something in me just made my car stopped. I just stopped, and I got out and I came up to kind of to where there were some other cars stopped. And as I'm walking up there, this man comes over, and he was maybe 6'2", big burly guy, and he's just white as a ghost. And he just tells me, he goes, "We had to pick the car up off the baby."
So I rushed to the scene of the rollover, and when I arrived, I saw a woman who was hysterical. She was obviously very upset, and a man who was holding a tiny infant.
I've been trained in infant child CPR and first aid for 20 years now, being in early childhood education.
This infant had a compound fracture in one of his arms. He had other broken limbs. He had multiple lacerations throughout his entire body, and he was losing a lot of blood.
First thing that kicked in was, first aid. What's the first thing you do? You stop the bleeding. So I made the dad hold the baby because I knew that I didn't want him to be moving him in case there was a head injury or a back injury or anything. So I just had the father hold the baby. The way he was holding him, I had him put pressure on the wound that was on his left elbow, and I proceeded to take care of the wound on his other arm, as well as take care of the wound on his head, and just talking to him, just keeping him awake, just keeping him alert, because all I kept thinking of was just to keep him breathing. I
called doctors a couple weeks after the crash, and they did say that this baby was alive and stable, and the firefighters on scene, they did say this baby was losing a ton of blood, and Donielle, she definitely slowed the bleeding. That's really what I hope, is that he's thriving and that he's doing well and ready to live a good life.